I've been working, guys. I have not, even though I was late getting there, I have been working, Miss Jackson.
You probably wouldn't know why we late come on the air, but nobody was going to say anything until you said something.
Yeah.
Live
Uh,
TV,
Yeah,
live
anyway.
broadcast
Live
is
Yeah,
broadcast.
is
yeah,
Is
yeah.
the key word.
is a
Hey, what
little
do we
different.
call this? Because I was at the meeting Sunday with, they had a workshop for a training for the NAACP in Hanford. And I excused myself because I had a live webcast. Is that the right terminology?
Anyway, nothing good. And you can also get the app. You can download the app on your phone, and that way you'll always know how to be able to get past episodes and when to watch us live.
Yeah.
And this modern technology is something else. I was last week we were talking about posters being placed around town, and that you could take your phone and scan in the app, so that now you don't have to, do all. You just hold your phone to it, and it's almost like you go to the grocery store and you scan it in. Well, that's going to be a way that folks can find us real fast and easy. So I'm excited about it. It's good. I can't wait till we start really kind of getting out there and folks start saying, "Oh yeah, I know that face. Not face. Oh, that's Kimberly."
I think that's all.
They already know you're from the post office. Right?
Yeah.
Wow. And then people will know your faces from TV, because remember we did
Yeah.
rebroadcast last week. We had Kimberly and Mel, and they were really
Yeah.
going
When
at
they
it.
were sparring.
You put that on television?
Yeah.
I didn't see that part.
We were sparring.
Oh my God. Oh.
There's a lot of sparring.
But you know,
Man.
it's just so much to spar about. I mean, it's
Yes.
it's
Yes,
just
there
so
is.
much
Yeah.
good
Particularly around politics.
stuff. Yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
lady is very,
What lady? You mean Kimberly?
yes.
You said this lady like we're talking about somebody else.
Thank you. That's what I was like. There he goes rambling about something else again.
Yeah, you conservative.
What are some of the topics we're going to be talking about today, Joel?
Well, I printed up a few things. Actually, I suppose I should make this announcement.
Well, let's talk
Should I
about
make that announcement?
Let's,
Okay. Shall I? I'm gonna
today's.
hand that to you because you are so good at
You good buck passer.
getting the information out there.
You
Yeah.
know what I
You good
mean.
buck
Yeah.
passer. Yeah.
Well, okay, so we know that the Fresno City College African American Faculty and Staff Association is going to be presenting a keynote speaker, H. Brandon Reicher, he's a psychologist, implicit and explicit behaviors and interaction. This is going to be on October 22nd. That's in 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's on Thursday. Room OAB, which means Old Admin Building.
Right.
251, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I believe this is free. Is there a cost?
It's totally free.
Totally free. So you want to come out and support, because we do have also specifically looking at African American psychological behaviors.
Well, our behaviors, but also I think he's going to open speaking about racism and about
Okay.
the implicit behaviors in racism, maybe the things we don't
Okay.
that aren't so readily obvious, like
That we
why
don't
you got a
recognize.
7% car loan, or you got a 10% car loan, and your neighbor who doesn't look like you got 3%. The kind of things that we may not readily see, but we know are taking place.
Okay. So really not about the psyche of the African American, more so about the psyche of the American community.
What I said.
Ever-changing environment.
Right, because he will also be speaking to students about matriculating and finishing your education, and
It's like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So
Yeah.
I say pick the part that you really want to hear if you happen to work a job
Mhm.
or are you in business for yourself. We know you may not be able to attend all day.
Yeah.
Understandable.
yeah,
But
but
be able to
I
check
think you
that
can come and
workshop
go.
out.
So
Come and go, check that workshop out, and again, that's going to be on October 22nd, room OAB, that's Old Administration Building, room 251 from 10 a.m. to 3. All right.
yeah, but don't park in the lots.
If
If
will
you
get
don't,
a ticket.
yeah, you need to purchase the dollar permit if you're going to park in the lot, but there will be parking next to the gym. So if
Okay.
you're kind of familiar with the campus, there'll be free parking in the lot, in the grass lot next to the gym. If you park in any school lot, pay that dollar, because they recently went up on the tickets, and I think now they're not $16, they're like 40 or something like that. So
Oh, that's a big
you don't
jump.
want to not pay a dollar and then get a $40 ticket.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
And what were the other news items?
well, so the other things, so I want to know what you all think about what Donald Trump said recently. He has said plenty of ugly, untrue things. Sometimes he says some ugly, let's say accurate things as opposed to true, So he blames George Bush for 9/11. Well, he says it happened on his watch, so he is responsible. And then he goes into detail. Actually, I should say the article, which it's an article from the Atlantic Monthly, and the article goes into detail about, we've heard it before, but Americans have real short memories. They forget stuff. About all the warnings that were coming out, and of course we heard in testimony from Condoleezza Rice and from Cheney and Bush, who had to appear together like two girls going to the bathroom. We heard that we got these announcements, but they were real general.
Okay.
Then
What does that mean when you say the announcements were really general?
Well, the like CIA and FBI briefings they would get were supposedly very general, like there's going to be a plane flown into a building, but not where and not when and all that. But actually, the 9/11 Commission, which was largely worthless, but did do some things right, got a hold of some of these briefings, and they were actually much more specific. Now, not a single one of them gave date and time, but if you know that something is in the works, I thought that's what the FBI and the CIA did, right? That they went and investigated threats and things. So if you know something is in the work, aren't you supposed to put your operatives to business figuring out when and where and who?
Which part do you believe, Joe? Because I know everyone doesn't believe in what they call the conspiracy theory, which I don't think is a conspiracy theory. I think what happened really happened. I think
Oh yeah, definitely.
the billionaires that owned the building and the towers knew that it was already going to fall down because people were getting phone calls that, get out of the building, this is what's going to happen. People were getting phone calls ahead of time before it was going to happen.
I'm just gonna say this
Bombs were at the
about
bottom.
that.
Bombs were at the bottom. These are people in New York City,
Yeah.
including my aunt and other people that live there. It wasn't the explosion from the plane.
Yeah,
The
no.
explosion came from the bottom.
And
Everyone
the
says that.
building was it was incinerated. Okay, we don't want to. I don't want to
It should've been
overload
incinerated.
folks.
But we have to talk about it.
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't want to overload them, but very simply, it was a false flag event,
Okay.
just like Pearl Harbor. They knew that it was going to happen. I'm not necessarily saying why would you have 4 separate, I'll call them military exercises? Four separate military exercises going on the same day at the same time, with the scenario being planes flying into buildings, so that when the FAA and the towers are getting not the building towers, but the airline towers, right, are getting these messages that planes are they're out of their airspace, they're lower than they're supposed to be, and they're not flying on the right track and stuff. They're saying, oh no, this is part of that exercise that is being conducted by.
Is that
I
why
can't
there's
think
no
of the
debris?
acronym.
When they hit into DC, that's why there's no debris.
I don't know why there's no debris. I don't know if there's no debris.
There's
Some
no
people
debris.
believe there wasn't. Some people don't.
That lived there and weren't there, so there was no debris.
See, and that's what I have heard. But again,
So what do we
I
want?
think that you
Is
have to.
President Bush's fault? Yes, that's my answer to that.
Well, see, I have trouble saying it's his fault, because to me, he was just a dupe. You have to have a
He
dupe.
had oil interest in this. You got to remember, he was in bed with the Bin Laden
Yeah,
family,
that's
right?
true.
Most people don't want to see that.
That's
So,
true. But I just don't think he's clever enough, and I don't think he had enough power enough. I know he's the
I think his
president,
family's
but we all
clever.
know Cheney's hand was up his. I mean, we all know Cheney's the one.
My heart is racing at this conversation.
That's why I say.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable.
That's why I
This
say
dialogue
you
is
have
happening.
to give it to people slowly, because
Yes, I am feeling
and
very,
and
very
let them
uncomfortable.
figure out what they agree with and what they don't. Maybe they don't agree with any of it, but that's why I'm saying I'm not going into
Well,
my
the reason
whole
why I'm
idea
talking
about
is
it. But
because having family all living in New York, and they're telling me what's going on,
yeah.
and they're telling me what's being put in the news, and they don't understand.
And it's a totally different thing.
Totally
And
different.
those people aren't being interviewed.
No.
Only the people that, and here's my thing. People say, oh, that's ridiculous. you can't get 2 people to keep a secret, much less 100 people to go along with a conspiracy.
So are we saying that President Bush and Vice President Cheney knew that 9/11 was gonna take place on this particular date, and they did not stop it from taking place? Is that what you're gonna say?
I believe it was an orchestrated event,
It was very much orchestrated.
a well-orchestrated event.
And he knew about it.
This is not
To me,
news.
that's. I don't know
Yes.
for sure if he knew.
Yes,
I don't
the
know
answer
for
is
sure
yes.
if he knew. I believe Cheney knew. I'm not sure if Bush
you
knew.
believe that they knew, and they knew thousands and thousands of Americans were gonna get killed, and they were.
Do you believe that Syrians are killing each other?
Casualties of war. So as
Yeah,
you
well,
said-
you believe that? I mean, I'm not attacking you. I'm just
Oh, no,
saying.
I got big shoulders. I can take.
Okay, so you feel me.
Okay.
So we find it so hard to believe that Americans could kill other Americans
Well, no, I don't find that hard to believe that because we do that. Americans do that
every
week.
day, right?
So I don't find
The
that.
only difference is they wear a suit and they work at the White House. They're humans just like
Let's go
anybody. In fact,
backwards.
they're not even humans just like anybody else. They're
Go
doing.
backwards, though, Joel.
Yeah, okay.
Let's think about President Bush. Was he well liked president when he just gotten elected? He had to find a way to be liked, and this is one way to do it.
You mean the second time? Because the first time he was appointed.
But I'm talking
The
about
the second
the second
election, he
time.
had to.
And remember, it was rigged, and there was the big thing with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so with Al Gore, and this is the one thing that set precedence to stop all that and to bring the country
Mm-hmm.
together. Because people had a little bit of hate for the president because of that. They felt
Oh,
the
yeah,
election
yeah,
was
yeah.
rigged.
Yeah.
And it was, but.
I cannot forget the look on his face when they came to that classroom where he was reading the book. I think he may have known something was brewing, but really, Cheney is the brains of that. Pinky and the Brain, they always reminded me of Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, they
I don't want to make light of this, but obviously we're talking about something heavy. Let's not be too
There's
heavy
plenty of
about it.
documentary for people to go watch.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not intentionally making light, but if we're going to talk about it, I need to have a little bit of levity.
Well, at that time, when that happened, I was on what year did it happen in 2009? What year was it again?
9/11. Oh, 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was on maternity leave at that time. I was a flight attendant for United Airlines. I was on maternity leave. So, for the FAA to know, when you know that a plane, first of all, every aircraft is given a certain altitude.
I don't think the FAA knew.
Right, but I thought you just said that the FAA knew that planes were flying low and that somebody just said disregard.
Right, I'm saying there were 4 military exercises going on at the time that were simulating planes flying into buildings. Right, somebody arranged that. That was a very unusual thing, very unusual. So somebody had to orchestrate that. Now, not the not the FAA, because they're not over that. They don't do that, right? The military does that.
They know we're all commercial.
Right, but they're getting calls into their towers that are saying, "Stand down. This is just a military exercise." And the people, the workaday people that are actually looking at the radars are saying, "Yeah, but wait a minute, I don't think this is a military exercise. And their supervisors are saying, that's why I say you don't need but 2 people for a conspiracy. Okay, but their supervisors are saying, we've just heard from the Pentagon. It's so everybody is confused about what's going on.
Right.
So no, I'm not saying that the AA knew that planes were going to fly into buildings. I'm saying just like many of the other players, they were duped.
I think they didn't know at first that it was a terrorist that hit the first plane. I think at first they thought that maybe a pilot just came, fell ill, had a heart attack, and went into plane. But when you had the plane hit in the Pentagon, and the last one, then they start thinking, there's something wrong. Now, the first plane that hit the towers, their altitude was lower because that was, that is airspace, and they were calling them. They were getting no response. So yes, I think something's going on
From anyone in the cockpit.
Right, exactly. From no one. I just think for Donald Trump to say that so
Yeah.
bad because I'm trying to put it back together. For Donald Trump to say that because it happened on his watch, he is responsible. I just don't think that's fair. I think that would have happened if John Kerry was president. Because remember, that's who
Yeah.
President Bush ran against. So even if that would have happened with him,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I like I say, I don't think he's responsible either. I think he was a
So what
dupe
you're
like
saying-
everybody else.
I feel like he is responsible.
What you're saying to me is that you really do believe this was a terrorist attack.
I do.
Well,
I know.
From that premise, then that.
I wouldn't say that it's not a terrorist attack. I would just say that it was a well orchestrated one that people highly placed in the government knew about. I don't say that they were like the people who were involved. Tell me this. There's 11 people involved in this, 11 terrorists.
Mostly from Saudi Arabia.
Within an hour of the attack, they can name all of them. They can name every last one. They couldn't name them an hour before,
Well,
right?
the reason
But
why
they could
because
name.
You do have a manifest, and so when you do check in, they do have everyone's.
So you think the terrorists got on the planes and used their real passports and
Well, I
names?
don't know if they used their real passports or not, but I
Yeah,
know
that's
that
what I'm
they
saying.
did
But
have-
somehow they knew who it was. You know, my point is just there's a whole bunch of, there's a whole bunch of questions,
Right.
and there's a lot of very unusual behavior. Plus, there's some solid things that have been demonstrated.
Like the Twin Towers should not have fallen.
Exactly. And
That's
7 wasn't even hit.
No.
Building 7 wasn't
There were
even
bombs.
hit.
People that
But
were
somehow
there,
it fell.
My cousin was there, said it was, you hear
You could
explosions.
exploding from the bottom.
Underneath.
A lot of people said that, but none of those people were interviewed on CNN. None of those people were interviewed on ABC, CBS, NBC, or Fox.
I think Donald Trump is a wackadoodle. I think half the stuff that he talks about, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
But why is that 27% in the poll?
Because a lot of people
A lot
who
of
support
yeah.
are a bunch of wackadoodles.
See, I would
too.
agree with that.
That's what I personally think.
He
He
just
has not given anything of substance of what he's going to do about anything. And for him to sit here right now and say that President Bush, now I do think if we want to talk about something that maybe he was the blame of or could have prevented, I do think by that time the bombing of was it the SS
Cole.
Cole? Yes, I do think he could have
Could've
stopped that.
done
But however, Donald Trump he's out there.
yeah, no, I
just-
totally agree with
You guys
that.
are saying that he's out there, and it'll be real mighty funny if he becomes Republican.
Well, but that could happen because remember when Jesse
Right,
Ventura
right.
ran for governor in Minnesota?
Oh, but he was a great governor, though.
Right, but
He was
everybody
very
was saying
popular.
that couldn't happen. That couldn't happen. I do think
Oh,
he'll
right.
get the nomination. Maybe he can get the nomination. Good, glad, and he will not win the election. He
Yeah.
will not.
No, and I agree with you. He likes to say stuff
Hello,
just.
you there? Wake up. You.
I think Mel's mind is blown.
Yeah. Blown about what?
Well, I just, listening to the conversation and the opinions of my colleagues, what stands out to me is how, and I just hate to keep picking on you, but you, when I listen to you, I hear the general public's perspective of things that happen in the world. And unless they are personally involved, they can't believe that it can be orchestrated in the manner that.
But who
Have
was
been.
the person? I think every American was personally involved.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in front of my television that day, horrified at what was going on. So I think everyone, no matter what nation they were from or what citizenship, was bothered and just felt ill and sick to their stomach about it.
That's
So
not what I'm talking about.
okay, so what are you talking about?
I'm talking about their opinion of how it happened and the involvement of could our government be complicit in this whole event? To me, you're saying absolutely not. You could not even slightly perceive that this government could do something like that. And what I go back to is what they've done to their own citizens in the past in the name of government. For science reasons, so they say, when the African American males
They
were
believe that. African African Americans.
They were infected with syphilis, and they knew what they were doing. They did it deliberately. That's just one that comes to my notes, but I'm sure
Or
throughout history.
Chicago when they blew
Yeah.
up all the black men because they had them loading
Yes.
missiles way
Yeah.
too fast and they were driving them and and I just want to say it's not even this government per se. Now I'm going real deep, folks. Uh, Most of what we see is a veneer. Like we say, oh well, the president, he's the most powerful man in the free world. No,
Not
he's
really.
not. I mean, he's not even the most powerful man if you consider that all legislation has to pass through 2 houses and be voted on. Now he can veto something, but he can't make them pass something.
Right.
So he can't possibly be the most. Well, okay, he could be in the free world the most powerful man, but he's not. He's not the most powerful man. Period. And he doesn't run the government. The government is run by the CIA. I don't think most people know or believe that, or for that matter, care to know that. But
Well,
that's
they
the
need
way
to
it
know that.
is.
They need to know that because it still doesn't make sense to me why we give billions of dollars to a banking system that's not even a part of the government.
Exactly. And see, all that kind of stuff. People see that on their bill, Federal Reserve. They think it's the government.
It's not. It's Federal Reserve. It's
You got to
its
do
own
your
entity.
homework. But again, as we were saying on Sunday night, you have to have the belly for it. You got to be strong enough because when you find out,
Yeah.
I guess I'm weak.
The Browder files, gotta read the Browder files. Anthony T. Browder, read those files. Frances Cress Welsing. There's so many books that you can read.
I've heard of her, but I haven't. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That
What?
you exemplify the majority of folks in this country when it comes to looking at stuff like that as if it could possibly be true. I don't want to deal with that. I'm trying to get my kids to college. I'm trying to live. I need to go get pizza this weekend.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I just thought what Donald Trump saying.
The statement
That's
itself.
That's
Yeah,
different
but
from
so
what.
we're
that's two
really
separate
talking
things.
about the statement of what he was saying, and we all I guess you 3 said that you did feel that he was responsible, and I felt
No,
that,
I don't. I don't feel that Bush is responsible
Because you
because
think
he's a dude. He's
like,
like
a moron, like he didn't.
no. I mean like he was not. I don't believe that he was part of. I believe he benefited from it. Make no mistake. But I don't believe that he knew what was going to happen or that he was part of orchestrating it. You need a person with blinders on who you can just, and Cheney, I mean, basically was the president when Bush was the president. And you need that person, that figurehead, so that that's where all of the attention is deflected.
I know you're saying that, Joe, but take a bigger look at the way President Bush was looked at after this rigged election.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. The recount and all the stuff that was going on
Yeah,
during that
yeah.
time.
But if that was the case, so if Americans were so upset, if African Americans were so upset, if everybody was such a disarm about him getting appointed as president, because we all know the Supreme Court voted, and that's how.
Well, that was the first one, but the second time.
But the second time, then why didn't Senator Kerry win the election? Why didn't
Senator Kerry did win the election.
he won the part?
He did win.
He won the election. But see, then you have to get into black box voting, and then and this is the stuff. The reason that
He even announced it on all the TVs when he did win.
yeah,
And
and
then they
then
go back and
exactly,
recount what
and and who was the first to announce it? Fox News,
Fox News.
the first to call the election, but it wasn't over. And then Kerry, which is the problem I have with him and will forever have. I have no respect for the man because he just said, okay, well, we don't want to cause a civil war or whatever, so I'm just not going to say anything about it. People stood in line for 6 hours in the rain in Ohio to vote, and the polls never opened.
I mean, the whole thing
That's,
is like- That's
that,
bad. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
part of our American culture that exists, that happened.
Yeah.
Those are facts. Whether you want to look at any conspiracy theory or not,
But I'm just thinking those are one. I think we're talking about 3 different things. We're talking about
we are.
the
There's a lot.
The Kerry election, then we go to the Bush Gore election, then we have this idiot Donald
Well, that's
Trump, whatever
what-
he's saying.
Yeah.
So it's just fascinating.
Those are 4 things then. Because the
You
fourth
better
thing is
you better move
the
over.
fact that most people
Last
don't
off the table.
want to delve that deep into whether or not there's a possibility that their country or their system of government could be that corrupt.
If you feel my heart right now, it's racing.
You
But-
want some peanuts?
I'll tell you this, and I do believe that our government is rotten. I mean, rotten, like rotten. But there's something to be said for the illusion of order. You know, when I think about Syria, when I think about Congo, when I think, well, at least we have the illusion of order. At least we have the illusion of lawfulness. So, because I want to be clear about this. You know, I'm sure there may be people who will see this at some time and say, well, go the hell back to. I'm not saying I don't love America. I'm a patriot. I love America. That's why it bothers me that we're in this position that we're in, that our government is so rotten. But I still consider it, with all the graft and collusion and rottenness there is in the government, I'd still rather be here than anywhere else. I'd rather be here than Libya, like I said, or Congo, or Afghanistan. Of course, we broke that. Or anywhere else, because at least we have the illusion of order and organization and lawfulness. So I just want to be clear about that. I'm not trying to go anywhere else. I'm trying to make America better.
Behold the Pale Horse, that's another book you can read.
I know, and I keep saying I'm going to buy that, and I haven't bought. And we talked about that years ago, and you said, no, you got to read this.
Yeah.
Well,
I
like
haven't
you
done it
said,
yet.
You're trying to make America better, and what is that Donald Trump slogan? Make America better again. So he's saying America's not good right now. It's not better. Only he can make it better.
Right.
Make it better again.
And
That's
they,
even a quote. That's a whistle. That's a whistle call to white people,
yeah.
to the racist community. That's not about what you took it as that, but that's not what he was saying.
No, I was just I never said how I took it. I was just
Yeah,
going by
she was just saying
repeating
that.
what she said. So once again, don't put words into my mouth that I really didn't say.
Listen, folks, anytime you have 1% of the wealthiest families in this country owning all the wealth and controlling the wealth, you're gonna have corruption somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
I only have one pair of underwear, just one. The rest of these candidates have 4 and 5. You guys didn't watch Saturday Night Live? You missed that?
Oh, you know what? I didn't know
Oh,
Tracy
what?
Jordan was coming back. If I had known Tracy Jordan was hosting,
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy
Morgan. I'm saying Jordan because that's his name on
Yeah.
30 Rock.
Yeah.
If I had known that he was gonna, there's no way I would have missed that. I didn't know that. And by the way, Tracy, I'm so glad you're better.
So glad you're back.
Ooh, thank God.
If you want a lighter note.
He's so hilarious. Could not afford to lose Tracy Morgan.
Well, now they said Saturday Night Live is. I think Donald Trump is going to host it. What, next week?
The 7th.
The 7th. And so now you have it might be one person's already talked about equal time, and you know how NBC
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
said, "Oh, we're done with Donald Trump. He's making racist
Yeah.
comments, blah 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 blah."
We're not that done.
No, now that
Yeah.
he's on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Well, he brings in the money.
Yeah,
Right. The advertisers will be buying time. So.
But there's some I don't know what part of what organization with Hispanics are saying they want they're
They don't
Send
want
him
him
a
hosting
boycott,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
hosting that show. I mean, he has said some things that are very sexist, very rude, very racist, very
Offensive.
yes. A lot. I mean, and I just remember that. Well, they've only done one debate when what was her name? Kelly, the lady. No, the commentator from Fox.
Oh, the lady that he offended.
The Kelly
Before
File,
her.
what was it? Kelly,
The one that he offended.
Yeah, we don't watch Fox, so we don't. We don't know.
Can't remember.
But when she said you called people a pig and this and that, he said no, just Rosie O'Donnell. And I
Yeah.
just said, are you kidding me? I mean, for him still to basically say, oh yeah, but I was just talking about her. I just think he's a
Well,
That's
I think that was awful, but
Yeah. We're on the internet.
yeah, so
I didn't see a whole bunch of people.
oh yeah, 'cause you don't have cable.
No, I didn't see a whole bunch of people standing up to defend Rosie.
Yeah.
But it's still an awful thing to say.
Right,
I mean,
right.
however accurate.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, well, my thing is, here's what I do like about Donald Trump is the fact that we know exactly who he is
Mm-hmm.
because he's saying these comments and saying
Yeah.
who he is, whereas you have the other politicians, we really don't know who they are or until they get into office.
That's true.
And then we gotta find out. So you can at least appreciate that.
Yeah.
That he's saying he's an idiot and people are still saying, yeah.
Well, now we know who he is, right up front. You know what you're getting?
Yeah.
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 Some of it, you know,
Yeah,
where
whether
he's
you know
just,
that or not, so.
he's just, you know, he's just something else. You know, I just think, you know, a lot of statements that he said are just to get people
Riled
feathers
up.
going. Yeah, just to get them, you know,
And get
going.
his name in the paper for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with
And
that.
then on the Democratic side, now we have ex-Senator Webb who said he's bowing out.
Yeah.
He said he,
But-
Is he the one I said? See, you saw I only saw part of the Democrat, but I think he's the one I said.
no, that's
he-
Lincoln Chap.
Oh, was that? Oh, okay. Didn't come across well.
He's
Has
one on
no
the far left.
charisma. Okay.
The one that kept complaining about not getting any time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was. Oh, Webb is the one on the far left.
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on back, Webb. Don't be like that.
Well, and then he said he might even.
Wait,
run
but he
against
says. I thought he was leaving because he said he
views,
didn't fit their.
his views aren't in line with the Democratic Party.
Oh, so in other words, he didn't mean he's more like the other side. He meant I ain't like none of these jokers.
That's
Any
right,
of them.
Right. And I remember saying that, like, I thought he should have been on the Republican side. I mean, you know.
But the Republican side would be opposite of being far left.
Right, that's correct.
Right, so why
But
would he be
we're
on the
talking about his
Republican side?
position of where he was sitting at, not his political philosophy. He was not left.
Oh,
It
I'm
was
sorry, yeah.
His position on the stage. He was on one on the far left.
Right. That's so true.
There you go, folks. My
Right.
brother always says, we talk funny.
Yeah, but we're live. And that's a good one.
Oh,
The far left, where he was sitting.
I'm sorry, Webb. Bye. Go ahead.
I apologize for not being clear. And no, thank you for picking that up.
Stage left. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So he said that he might consider running as
An independent.
an independent. Good luck
And
with
who
that.
would he?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Where would he pull? Where would he do the most damage if he did? Would it be to the Republican Party or to the Democrat
I think it's
Party?
the Republican Party.
I don't think he'd do any damage at all. I don't think anybody would. I don't
Well,
think he'd pick up
obviously,
any.
Anderson Cooper didn't care because he handled him pretty rough. You know, he just kept firing back. Well, that's what you agreed to. Your time's up, Senator. You know, he just kind of just kept him. You know, you agreed to this, so you know. Yeah, but they're getting all the time on the other. I don't have it. And then when he did get time, it took him forever to get his thoughts out.
Right.
So if you're president, it's time to drop the bomb. What are you gonna do?
Well,
Man, it's too late. It's over. But I still got 2 minutes.
he would have had time to think
Reminds
and
me
gather
that,
his thoughts.
Remember that commercial that what's it called? An ad from Senator Clinton about the red phone.
Oh
They-
yeah,
they make
like
it-
who do you want answering the
This
phone
red
at
phone,
3 in
I'm
the
like,
morning?
so what
Yeah,
are you doing with this red phone for?
because that's the color Batman's phone was.
Oh, okay. And
That was,
Yeah, remember Alfred would answer the red phone, and it was like, oh man, you get a red phone when you're the I want to be the president because I like that red phone, but I want the Batman one that was under a dome. That's
Well, actually, no one's acknowledged that since the last debate, who has jumped up in the polls
you mean Trump?
on that Democratic side.
Oh,
because I was saying Trump and McCarthy.
well, she's bounced.
Yeah, but it's been
Jump, I don't know, 10%. Oh, now I will
'Cause
say this.
Your boy bounced too.
Yeah.
He didn't bounce alone. So
But
don't
you know
think
why
she
he
got
bounced
all-
up?
Because he said nobody wants to hear about your emails.
No, going back to Saturday Night Live, because
Oh,
all this time, Larry David has been doing Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders is just Larry David. I knew he seemed familiar to me. That's why I liked him, because he was familiar right off the start. Because I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was like, he's so familiar. I just feel like I've known him always. Well, that's why. That was a brilliant.
He does a better Bernie Sanders than Bernie Sanders.
Well, he just looked a little disheveled, they say. Well, yeah, she got to bounce. And then I'm
Yeah.
over this. I'm over Vice President Biden. I'm over it.
Thank
You're going to run or you're not going to run. I do not think he should even run at this point.
I don't either.
And the reason is that you don't think so as well.
No, it's the
Because
reason.
I'd love for him to run.
Okay, why?
Because he's gonna peel votes off from Hillary. And then guess who gets the nomination?
Who?
I mean, do you really think Bernie? No.
Yeah, I think
Maybe Biden gets it.
No. Biden, he can't. No. They're not. For the reasons she just said, the real hardline Democrats are not going to vote for him to be the nominee because they're going to be mad at him for waiting so long to make a decision. And so the person that's going to have the constant support and is going to stay with him all the way, his people are not going to leave him.
No, I think Hillary has I think
She has the machinery.
Yeah, but she also has, not in my opinion, but she was dropping in the polls. She has that issue with believability, not to me, but to a lot of people. I don't know. I think if Biden entered now, he would be a detriment. And frankly, I don't think he should enter because I think he's just behaved really badly these last few weeks. And I know it wasn't all him. I mean, I know it was the newscasters, but he should have made a decision and announced it, period.
I agree.
All this dragging out and stuff, it was...
But he is, they have his
Well,
name.
he's only got 2 more days to wait. Then he'll know.
He shouldn't have said anything. He should have made a decision and then said, I'm running or I'm not running. Not, I'm thinking about it.
I'm thinking.
I'll let you know in 3 weeks.
And then his name is out there. I mean, people, there's 3 people. He's still polling very, very low, 13, 12%. It's not like he's up. I mean, why does he even want to do it?
Because you're trying to save the Democrats, save the White House to the Democrats. If something were to happen to Hillary Clinton and she were not able if she was able to get the nomination and not be able to compete with the Republicans, then you would yield the White House to the Republicans, and they already have Congress. So he's the ace in the hole saying.
According to our other article, that's what's going to happen anyway. So
well, let's talk about that
that.
after that other article after the break.
Okay.
Letting people know you are watching Valley Black Talk Radio live and also listening to Valley Black Talk Radio live on the ONME Network with Julie Delinangi, Kimberly Jackson, Mel Sanders, and Joel Riversmith. So we'll be right back after this break.
The applicant. Stressed? Busy? Feel like you're always working? Just need to relax? Introducing Colorama, the beautiful coloring book that helps you relax while creating something wonderful. Unwind after work and let all the stress of your day melt away. With Colorama, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You get over 100 gorgeous designs. Each design is printed on one-sided, acid-free paper so you can frame your beautiful new artwork or give it as a gift. Use colored pencils, markers, pastels, watercolors, even crayons to color a piece that's one of a kind. Have fun and lose yourself while you create your own secret garden, mystical circles, paisleys, stained glass designs, and so much more.
I look forward to jumping into bed with the Colorama book and just melt away the stress of the day.
It's really fun and it's relaxing, and for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm an artist.
This is a giant collection of over 100 exclusive designs to treasure. The Colorama coloring book is only $12.99 and not available in any store. And if you call right now, we'll send you an absolutely free Pocket Colorama, your on-the-go coloring companion. And to make your Colorama collection complete, you'll also get our deluxe 2-in-1 colored pencils. These 12 professional quality colors are perfect for creating your masterpieces. Yours free too. And find out about our incredibly low price on our deluxe 51-piece color kit. From watercolors to markers, it contains everything you need. Get Colorama, the Pocket Colorama, the 12-color pencil set, and exclusive pricing on our 51-piece color kit for only $12.99. Order now.
Call 1-800-832-0490 to get your special offer Colorama coloring book. Call now or go to coloramabooks.com. So call 1-800-832-0490. That's 1-800-832-0490. This offer is not available in any store. Call now.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call right now, 800-658-0716, 800-658-0716, 800-658-0716. That's 800-658-0716.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Health reform has added significant new benefits to Medicare plans. If you have Medicare Part A, Part B, Part D, or any Medicare Advantage plan, you now get benefits with no copays, no deductibles, and can get dental, vision, and prescription coverage included. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline now to make sure you have all the benefits you're entitled to. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline now to update your plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. The cost of health insurance and the denial of coverage because of pre-existing conditions has been a serious problem in America. But now the law has changed. Healthcare reform is now available. So many people do not take advantage of the benefits offered to them by healthcare reform because they don't call. Call now.
The Medicare Health Reform Helpline is now accepting calls. Don't miss the deadline. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline.
Call 800-804-1431. That's 800-804-1431. 800-804-1431.
Good evening, folks. Wake up. You are watching Valley Black Talk Radio.
Did he?
Yeah, but you didn't say anything. On Tuesday, October 20th, 2015.
My payment day.
And you got to pay the bill.
Well, he didn't say he forgot. He just said he hadn't done it.
Yeah, because he knows about it, so that means he didn't forget.
Yeah, maybe he's just not planning on it.
So
My good friend Kimberly was gonna say, "Well, look, partner, I got your back."
I got
we have
it.
Julie Jackson, Julie Najee, Mel Sanders, and Joel Riversmith, Valley Black Talk Radio on the ONME Network. We were talking about that second article, Joel.
Yes. So, what do you think about this? Forget the debate.
Okay.
Because the Republicans are most likely going to win in 2016.
Okay.
You believe that?
The article says that.
Well, what is the article?
What do they base that on?
The article says, let's see, this one is, again, something I pulled offline. The article says, this is not based on polling, right? Because we're so early on. Polling is just not reliable at this point. People say, "Oh, I'm voting for so and so," but you know, 12 months from now, who knows? So it's not based on polling. It is based on the results of a data model that the people who wrote the article created, right? So there are some specific factors, some things that they identified based on the last 25 presidential elections, which is, I believe it says in here, that's as far back as they can go. So that would be every election since, but see, I mean, we're on President 40 something. So anyway, you know, math is not my strong suit. So what it says is that a Republican will win because voters typically shy away from the party currently in power, whichever party is currently in power. Voters tend to vote for the opposite. Plus, they do that when the incumbent is not running. Okay, if the incumbent is running, they tend to go with the same party. A successor candidate is 3 times less likely to win. So when you have the party in power, the incumbent cannot run again, his successor, the person of the same party, is 3 times less likely to win, according to statistics and these models that they put together. So I guess it doesn't matter whether it's Bernie or Hillary, according to their models and what they're what the statistics show, statistically speaking, the Democrats are not likely to win. Plus, President Obama's approval ratings are too low to suggest that a successor candidate will take the House. Now, if his approval ratings were higher, it would be more likely that the successor would come from his same party. But now they could go up, and it says that.
You know, I think it's a bunch of hogwash. You know why? Because I think the makeup of these United States is so different than their data bank. I mean, we're a way more diverse society. Things that are important in our electric. How do you say
electric? You got electorate.
have totally changed, and I really think that what the Republicans are talking about is not in line with the majority of people. I mean, it's just on.
And who is speaking to that?
What do you mean?
To the issue you just raised. What particular candidate is speaking to what the majority of people are concerned about?
None of the Republicans. I would say.
I just asked who. I didn't ask.
All the Democrats. All the Democrats.
Oh, are they?
All of them, I would think.
Oh, okay, Jim Webb wasn't.
Well,
He's gone now.
Yeah. Because he knew the writing was on the wall.
But if you say none of the Republicans, I mean, Trump and Carson are both polling high, so they're doing something. They're saying something somebody is agreeing with.
I just don't think they're gonna get either one of them get the nominee. I'm sorry.
Well, I of course hope you're right, but people, I don't know, people are very.
And I have no problem with them getting it. That means they will not get the White House.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you now, white people are not going to support another African American in that White House. They, as conservative as he might be, no, we're not going to do that.
I'm kind of leaning with Mel on this. They like him, but not that much.
No, yeah.
Okay,
they
so
give you a good showing.
What math is it based on, Jewel, that they came up with these?
Well, it says, you know what, and I really should.
While you're thinking, can I share with you another reason why I think that may have some flaws in it?
No, you have to let me read this first, then you can share. Because this is how they got the data. I was just going to identify exactly which site I pulled it off of, but I don't think do we have to worry too much about copyright? Okay. What they did was they began by aggregating data from past U.S. presidential elections. They created a much larger database of elections by looking beyond the United States, so including the United States, but not only the United States, to hundreds of presidential and parliamentary elections in democratic countries around the world. And by doing that, using the United States and other countries, that gave them far more data to work with. And the most important finding from their model is the power of incumbency. So if you already hold the office you seek, you're more likely to retain it. And from their database of global elections, they learned about the importance of knowing where the public stands on the direction their country and leadership is going. So they work on probabilities, party level, candidate level.
Well, I mean, there's still a fallacy in that, though. If you're looking at what each country, how the elections are run, are they all democratic systems? The systems are probably democratic.
Now they say they were looking only at democracies, but that's kind of hard to, because even our democracy, do you know whether the voting machines have been tampered with? Do you know whether the office, that everybody who wanted to vote was able to get to an office, those who aren't voting by mail? There's some questions about it, but
just based on that, when they said they're most likely to win, so I can think right off my hand, the first Bush, he didn't win.
Yeah, I was against just Bill Clinton.
Yeah, he didn't win against Bill Clinton. I mean,
he was a one-term.
He was a one-term president, and then Jimmy Carter. He ran again. He was a one-term. You want me to keep going? Because I read them all.
But Carter had that whole. I mean, if you have some big thing, and he had the whole Iran hostage thing. So
what were you gonna say? You were gonna say something.
I'm gonna say this is the first year that I can recall that politics has been at the forefront so early. I mean, everybody is in tune with what's getting ready to happen, and I believe that a lot of it has to do with even Democrats saying we need to get him out the White House and let's put somebody else in, because we just need to bring white back to the White House.
Well, he can't run again anyway.
I know it, but they're really concerned now that we want to make sure we get somebody.
Oh, okay. You're saying under no circumstances is Ben Carson going to win?
Yeah, he's not going back. He's not going.
I was gonna say,
You heard it here, folks.
You're not saying the Democrats are saying we want a Republican in the White House.
Pardon?
I guess I misunderstood what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're not saying that Democrats are saying we want a Republican.
No, they're just saying that they're not going to have any more color in there. Now
They feel good enough about what they did that.
So you think Marco Rubio, he doesn't even have a chance?
Not in my view, because his own people aren't going to even vote for him.
Well, you know why?
Because of his stance on
That's
immigration.
what I was just gonna say.
He's not. Yeah,
they're not his people.
Well, yeah, but it's color, but not his kind. Is that what you're saying?
Basically.
They're not even his color. Okay, but that's a whole nother discussion. I mean, it's not like he's, there's Cubans that look like us, and then there's Cubans that look like him.
Yeah.
And the ones that live in Miami mostly look like him. I don't know. I'm just saying, he doesn't strike me as a man of the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They've done. Now I do have to say, I'm learning from my sociology class that really, when you start putting numbers and stuff together, you can identify that statistics really do have a value.
Well,
but you can't predict people, though. That's the thing.
They said every statistic they had when President Obama ran against John McCain was out the window. None of their models worked. They were. It was a wrap. None of them. I mean, the election was called. I remember being at Ross and Clovis, and at 4 o'clock it was over with. So all their models did not work, and that's because President Obama had so many individuals who had never ever voted. Like, where do these people come from? And I think that's going to be the same thing with
Hillary?
Yes, because a woman.
You think people are going to come out of the woodwork? Because I just say because people already know whether they like her or not. Where Obama it was new and it was
Right, but I think the fact that she's a woman, I think that's really going to bring other women that maybe had different values on the Republican side to come across. That's what I.
You think they want to make history twice in a row like that? As my friend says, boom, boom.
I think so.
You don't think they're a little?
And I think that, the Republicans might try to get a woman vice president, but then it's the fact that it's not a woman, it's the right woman. Because that's what Senator McCain tried to do with Sarah Palin. And people
what got though she went rogue.
Yeah, but they did love her. They loved her. She was everywhere.
She's a wackadoo, but I used to really
still like her.
I used to love Saturday Night Live.
I was about to say that's the only imitation, the impersonation that could rival Larry doing Bernie. Tina Fey is more. She is more. What's her name? Than what's her name is.
She was so good. I remember
She was so good.
She was walking across and she was doing
the flute,
and then she was modeling.
Palin,
and then she came back.
yeah.
It was just.
And then when they were on together, it was I couldn't tell.
It was really Saturday, we just go all over the place. That's the good thing about it. That just shows we're natural and we're just talking about what stared in our mind. But Saturday Night Live, they do really justice to political satire.
They do. They do.
Really funny, but it was just hilarious.
It was hilarious. And what Frank Caliendo, way back when he used to do George Bush. If he hadn't, his face was a little too round. He was a little, larger than Bush, but he sure captured the spirit and the voice.
Shame on you. You can't fool me twice.
And I just want the gynecologists to be able to practice their love with the women.
Even the guy that did President Clinton was funny too.
Oh, he was.
What was his name?
Daryl Hammond.
When he would go to McDonald's and order all kind of stuff.
Oh my. Oh my.
Somebody did Clinton just the other day, and they were actually talking to Hillary on the phone. And she knew it was an impersonator, and I can't remember. He was really good, though. I have to try to.
But they never got someone to do President Obama really good.
Well, Jordan Peele has his. It sounds like him and stuff, but he just doesn't look like him at all. And the other guy, Fred, what's his name? Who's now on Portlandia? He who was on SNL. He did a pretty good Obama, but yeah, he's hard to really capture. That way he has of speaking, he's hard to capture.
You know who I was thinking of? The Republicans might try to get is that Senator Joni.
I don't know.
Starts with an A. North Carolina, North Dakota. Yeah, I'm telling you, they might.
Isles or something like that.
Yeah, she has really short haircut. She used to be. They might try to get someone like her, or maybe.
So you don't think
That's
they would
were talking
pick
about being
Fiorina?
speaker
Maybe.
too, and that didn't pan out. That was one of the suggestions from some of the folks looking to replace Boehner.
Oh yeah, because but Paul Ryan said he'll do it. He said he'll consider it running
Well,
Speaker of the House.
He spoke today, and he said they went in conference, and he told them he needed every vote. In order for him to do it, he wanted every Republican vote to support him.
So what happens next if he decides not to take it?
Boehner stays there until they find somebody.
He's not going to get every vote because those wackadoos are not going to vote for him.
I think that's what he's counting on. I think
Yeah.
that's what he's counting on.
That they won't.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
don't
that's
think
why
really
he made
wants
the offer, because he's not going to get the job anyway.
So nobody wants the job for Speaker of the House.
No, I think they want it, but the wackadoos aren't going to give it to. But none of the wackadoos wants to run. That's the thing.
They can't
Not
win.
that they would get voted in.
No, the wackadoos know they can't win.
That's true.
They're gonna get whacked down.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why they're called wackadoos. They're not gonna. Yeah.
Well, we're using all this terminology, but we really mean the Tea Party faction.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Just in case people
Tea
are
Party,
watching.
wackadoos,
Yes.
crazy. See what I'm saying? Far to the right of whatever.
See, that's what I love about being here. We can say wackadoo. But you're right. We should clarify.
Yeah, clarify what the wackadoos are, so we know what we're talking about.
Right. Speaking of the Tea Party, I was watching something, I think it was on 60 Minutes, I can't remember, but they were doing kind of a profile of the Koch brothers. And they mentioned the fact, and I've been seeing these commercials for about the last 3 or 4 months, but I hadn't quite put 2 and 2 together that they're trying to rebrand themselves. So they have these we are Coke commercials. Look at all the good we're doing in the world. Because, I think they're kind of concerned about how the Tea Party is looking. And of course, they are instrumental in the Tea Party existing in the first place and continuing to exist. So, it just goes to show you folks, you really have to watch because there's some great commercials, very slick. And, you might be fooled for a minute into thinking those Coke guys are okay. Or for that matter, you know what? Maybe they are okay. Nobody is 100%,
Which commercial
good or bad.
Specifically that you have been seeing on the TV?
There's been a few of them. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I know I've
there's a
seen
couple
them
of
too,
different
but I
ones.
can't think of which one.
But they're people
When
who
they
work for
close,
Coke Industries.
Yeah, they always let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them, but I don't watch a lot of TV.
They
TV.
say Coke Industries. They actually say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're showing you like what they do, whether it's I'm a nurse in a hospital and whatever. And so they're workaday people showing you what they do, and then they say I am Coke Industries, like the Chevron commercials from a few years back. So that you forget about all the polluting and other stuff that Chevron is and was doing, right? And so I guess with the Cokes, if you think of them as doing all these wonderful things, which again, I'm sure they do wonderful things. They're industries, they've got all hands and everything, and nobody or very few people are 100% evil or 100% good.
So which one of these dollar stores do they own? Is it the 99 cents only or the Dollar Tree?
Don't tell me they own the dollar store. I love the dollar store. You're gonna make me have to stop shopping at the dollar store.
Where's my iPad?
Oh no! Go home.
Because once you know, you're responsible now, huh?
That's right. Once you know better, you have to do better. Oh man.
Well, that'd be okay for me because I think the dollar stores are a ripoff because it's sometimes cheaper to go to Walmart.
Oh, what do they
now
have
you're
at
gonna go to
Walmart that's
non-union place
less
where
than
that
the
has.
dollar store?
Well, like for instance, like you go there and you get toothpaste, right? You want to get toothpaste, it's $1.
Mhm.
You can go to Walmart and get AIM, and it's like 88 cents. Yeah.
You busy after? Let's go to Walmart. No, I
Tomorrow.
very, very, very seldom go to Walmart either. But I gotta say, Walmart, they've been
Oh, they're
kicking and screaming, but they have been coming along with their minimum wage and their training programs
and it's just because it's making because if they're now on the fact that if you pay your customers your employees more, they're going to be happy, which makes your customers happy, but makes the atmosphere
build
of the store
loyalty.
happy. Yeah, and I think that's.
You mean to
that's
tell me
I
they
think that's
never,
good
none
too.
of those guys ever saw Miracle on 34th Street?
It's not that they didn't see it; they saw it, but you don't change until you have to change, right? And now it's beneficial for them to change because they get all the
perks and stuff. And then plus with the new law in California, it's AB. I don't know what it. I can't think of the numbers, but when they have to give part-time employees 5 paid sick leave days anyway, you know what I mean? You have to do that anyway. You just have to decide now as an employee if you're or as an employer if you're gonna have it roll over or I don't know the terminology of it, but so all those people that work in those type of industries are gonna get those type of benefits anyway. So you might as well.
But they figured out, just like Coke, they have these great Walmart commercials on now, and we're doing this and we're doing that, and so yeah, I don't know about the 99-cent store. Oh yeah, you gonna hit me later. Boom, boom.
All of them. No,
I won't be able to shop anywhere.
In the Dollar Tree. Yeah. So it's really it's just all this time of the year it's just so fascinating. It's so much good news and stuff going on. Just
Politics.
Now, by
life.
Good, you mean interesting and exciting, not necessarily
good.
okay.
Yeah, good. Just interesting.
For junkies, for folks who are really news hungry, information hungry, this is the time. From now till when? Just before Christmas? Or right before Thanksgiving?
Right. And
then it skips, and then it jumps back up again.
Olympic year too, so it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. But something that I have not been able to wrap my brain around is the Benghazi events.
Yeah. So what do you
That's
think?
coming up Thursday.
Because I thought Senator Clinton or Secretary of State Clinton already went to this panel before.
She did. I don't know if it was the same group, but she's already testified about
so
Benghazi.
I don't understand why she's testifying again.
The Republicans told you when the guy said it's a political theater. The Republican guy accident. Well, he said it on
Kevin
purpose,
McCarthy.
but then he realized how deeply he had inserted his foot into his mouth, and he started backtracking. But basically, he had already let it go. He said, "And I'm so glad this is going on now. This is good political theater. It'll take her down." And then it was like, "Oh yeah," and she's the one who invented the vast right-wing conspiracy. Not invented it. We know that but she's the one who first identified it and said that's what this is all about years ago when Bill was still president. And it's looking more and more like
I just don't know. I'm just confused. And then they were talking about Ambassador Rice when she was coming out with her talking points after it happened. The fact that they weren't saying it was insurgents or it was this, and she missed key, talking points. And then they had things about Valerie Jarrett, what she was missing. And I'm just not following it. But I'm gonna definitely have it. I'm gonna tape it. It's on recording, so hopefully I can get a good grasp of what's going on because
Is that going to be a live segment, or is that going to be behind closed?
Well, I assumed it was going to be live, but maybe not.
Mel said it was behind closed doors.
I thought, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I don't know. I was just sitting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I haven't heard
don't
any
know either.
advertisement about it in terms of the station saying we're going to,
Oh, well, no
stay
regular
tuned.
stations. All they carry is election.
I'm talking about the cable news stations.
Yeah, okay.
None of those have said that I recall.
Not
It's gonna
C-SPAN?
be-
I was thinking it was C-SPAN. I was just saying that I knew it came on Thursday, and I was gonna.
Yeah.
If C-SPAN's going to get it, the rest of them have those cable stations. So if it's going to be testimony in open
Mic.
yeah, it's going to be on all of the major cable stations.
But they don't really carry much of anything except election stuff. You have to turn to C-SPAN for all the votes
Oh,
and
no, all of them are going to.
You think it's going to be big enough that they'll want it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Especially after the last one where she said, "What difference does it make?" Where she actually kind of came back on.
And I thought that was really good.
I did too.
She was like,
Yeah, exactly. What is this about? Why am I still here? You got all the information. I totally felt for, because I think even then, I mean, she knows, we all know. It's all about political theater. It's all about keeping her name in the news so they can continue to harangue and say she's untrustworthy. That's all it's about.
Well, and then they had Senator Cummings said the same thing. This is
Congressman Cummings.
Elijah Cummings. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Representative Cummings, who's in charge. He's the chairman of.
He's the Democratic highest-ranking member of that committee.
Right.
The chair is.
The Republican.
Yes.
So then after the break, I guess we'll finish this conversation and also give you a listing about all the things that the Cook Brothers own.
Here it comes. Boom, boom.
So you're watching Valley Talk Radio live on ONME Network. We're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned for more. 34622.
The applicant. Stressed? Busy? Feel like you're always working? Just need to relax? Introducing Colorama, the beautiful coloring book that helps you relax while creating something wonderful. Unwind after work and let all the stress of your day melt away. With Colorama, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You get over 100 gorgeous designs. Each design is printed on one-sided acid-free paper so you can frame your beautiful new artwork or give it as a gift. Use colored pencils, markers, pastels, watercolors, even crayons to color a piece that's one of a kind. Have fun and lose yourself while you create your own secret garden, mystical circles, paisleys, stained glass designs, and so much more.
I look forward to jumping into bed with the Colorama book and just melt away the stress of the day.
It's really fun and it's relaxing, and for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm an artist.
This is a giant collection of over 100 exclusive designs to treasure. The Colorama coloring book is only $12.99 and not available in any store. And if you call right now, we'll send you an absolutely free Pocket Colorama, your on-the-go coloring companion. And to make your Colorama collection complete, you'll also get our deluxe 2-in-1 colored pencils. These 12 professional quality colors are perfect for creating your masterpieces. Yours free too. And find out about our incredibly low price on our deluxe 51-piece color kit. From watercolors to markers, it contains everything you need. Get Colorama, the Pocket Colorama, the 12-color pencil set, and exclusive pricing on our 51-piece color kit for only $12.99. Order now.
Call 1-800-832-0490 to get your special offer Colorama coloring book. Call now or go to coloramabooks.com. So call 1-800-832-0490. That's 1-800-832-0490. This offer is not available in any store. Call now.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call right now, 800-658-0716, 800-658-0716, 800-658-0716. That's 800-658-0716.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Health reform has added significant new benefits to Medicare plans. If you have Medicare Part A, Part B, Part D, or any Medicare Advantage plan, you now get benefits with no copays, no deductibles, and can get dental, vision, and prescription coverage included. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline now to make sure you have all the benefits you're entitled to. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline now to update your plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. The cost of health insurance and the denial of coverage because of pre-existing conditions has been a serious problem in America. But now the law has changed. Healthcare reform is now available. So many people do not take advantage of the benefits offered to them by healthcare reform because they don't call. Call now.
The Medicare Health Reform Helpline is now accepting calls. Don't miss the deadline. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline.
Call 800-804-1431. That's 800-804-1431. 800-804-1431.
Well, here on Inspiration Green. And welcome back to Valley Black Talk Radio, live on the ONME Network. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, Kimberly Jackson, Mel Sanders, and Jewel River Smith. And we were just talking before the break about something else, and I was just going to let you guys know the list of products that the Koch brothers own, like the Angel Soft, Brawny, Dixie, Mardi Gras, Quilted Northern,
Oh, I use Mardi
Soft
Gras.
and
I use
Gentle,
Quilted
Sparkle,
Northern.
Vanity Fair, Z, of course, Georgia Pacific. Wood products, they own, oh wow.
They own Vanity Fair magazine?
No. The,
Oh, it's a product.
oh wait, maybe they do, huh? This is
Oh.
Vanity Fair. This is Vanity Fair. They also own Wood Products. Georgia Pacific is the largest manufacturer of plywood in the U.S.
They own
So-
Georgia Pacific?
Yes. And including Plytanium plywood, dry ply, plywood, and then ply bead. So anything that has plywood in it, they own, okay?
So
they
this
also-
table that you bought, Julia.
Wait a minute, they own it. Okay, largest suppliers of corrugated boxes and containers.
I can't even move.
Lumber and building materials. Oh, you're done. Blue Ribbon, Clutter, Dins Armor Plus, Dins Deck, Dins Glass, Dins Shield, Gypsum Board, Dry Ply, Fire Guard, Grant Force, OSB Board, GP Lamb, Hush Board, Nautilus, Ply Bead, Platinum, Southern Gold, Thermostat, Tough Rock, Wood I-Beam. Textiles and plastics, they own them. Stainmaster, the Lycra, the Lycra material, Cool Max, Solar Max, Polar Guard, Thermalite, Antron,
So I want to know one thing.
OxyClear, Polyclear, PolyShield, ADI Pure, Performa, Cordio Fabric, Suplex Fabric, some real bedding.
I was gonna say they own a lot of SH.
Oh wait. Chemicals and coal and oil. They also own coal and oil. Is this somehow it's not the same, right?
They're a conglomerate.
Yeah. Crude oil processing capacity of more than 800,000 barrels per day.
800,000 barrels.
Per day. So that you know they own the pipelines. Koch Industry produces gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. So you can electric car. Asphalt. Fracking chemicals, benzene, all these other names I can't pronounce of chemicals, and some other more chemicals, a whole bunch of other chemicals. Flint Hill Resources, manufacturing plants. Koch Carbon, Koch Exploration Company, Koch Oil Sands Operating, Frac Chem Pipelines, Fertilizer, Equipment. They have a whole bunch of equipment. Koch Membrane Systems. They develop, manufacture membrane separation system for a variety of applications worldwide, including membranes for microfiltration, ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, and reverse osmosis. This is crazy.
Yeah, enough of them.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Okay, so the only good thing about this
Is what?
is it would be impossible for me to avoid them no matter what I do.
Well, then since
So I don't have to try. Well, I don't need dog food right now. I don't want to go there.
Okay, you said pollution. Koch Industry emits 24 million metric tons of greenhouse gases a year.
Well, and some people might not know what the Koch brothers do.
Right.
So, Jules, could you just they
They're the
don't
13th largest polluter, by the way.
In the United States
Yeah,
or the world?
the nation. This is according to the University of Massachusetts at Amherst Political Economy Research Institute. And they have a detailed breakdown too.
I have another important comment, real quick.
All right.
Mel, what is going on with you tonight? You just look like you just out of it.
No, I'm taking it all in. I'm a magnet. I'm just soaking it up so I have something to say.
Yeah, since when?
He's a sleeping magnet.
Yeah, since when?
Well, this is important. Here's the election.
Yeah.
They spent $37.9 million on oil and gas lobbying during the 2006 to 2009.
Wait, give that figure once again.
$37.9 million on oil and gas lobbying.
37.9 million on
That's
lobbying.
right.
That's how much they donated to the to lobby.
And they spent over $643 million to block or roll back legal protections for clean air, clean energy, clean water, and other environmental issues through sketchy scientific research, lobbying lawmakers, contributing to electoral candidates' campaigns, media manipulations, etc. And you can go to the codecash.files.wordpress.com. There's a lot of stuff here, you guys. I don't know what you want to know. What part do you want to talk about what they do? This is telling everything that they do.
Yeah,
They
no,
do
I just
not.
wanted to know what all they had their hand in, and
It seems
you
like
pretty much
everything.
made that clear. Yeah, everything. There isn't anything they don't have their hand in. Wow.
Yeah. Well, in September 2000, and here's a little new stuff. A federal grand jury in Corpus Christi, Texas, returned a 97-count indictment against Koch Industry Incorporated, Koch Petroleum Group, for violating federal clean air and hazardous waste laws through the release of at least 91 metric tons of uncontrolled, untreated, carcinogenic benzene.
How much did they pay?
Well, in April 2001, the company reached a $20 million settlement in exchange for
Peanuts.
admitting to covering up environmental violation
Peanuts.
as its refinery in Corpus
Speaking
Christi.
of,
It's less than peanuts. It's like peanut skin
Yeah.
to them.
the
20
paper
million.
wrapper that comes around.
The
peanuts.
husk of the peanut.
Yeah.
That's like if I had to pay a penny for something. I just go out there on the street and find a penny and pay.
There's a lot. you guys.
Wow.
There's just
And
a lot.
they generally support and
Promote.
promote, help with super PACs for Republicans. They
Very
fit-
Yeah.
And then here's the last thing I read is the revenue, and then you guys can discuss more. Koch Industry brings in $115 billion in revenue annually. Charles Koch has a net worth of over $40 billion.
Yeah. They said 43 on
Oh,
60
maybe it went
Minutes.
up, okay. David Koch has also a net worth of $40 billion, combined $80 million. Both increased their wealth by $5 billion in 2012, according to the Forbes.com. Charles Koch has called the recent push to raise the minimum wage an obstacle to prosperity.
Well, I imagine so. He is.
So there you
It's
go.
not even, but you know what? That's really sick and twisted because it's not even an obstacle to his prosperity. He has more money than he can spend in 87 lifetimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if he really tried. So to say that if he paid every single person at every single business he either owns or even is affiliated with, if he raised them all to $20 an hour tomorrow and gave them all fully covered health care, he wouldn't miss the money. He that would just be the interest on his bank account. That's really vile. I mean, when you think about it, it's really vile to say something like that, that it's an impediment to prosperity. When, like I say, he could pay them all $20, $25, $30 an hour and health care and not even miss it.
You know, that's putting an obstacle, Joel.
Yeah, he's...
This information I got, just for the audience, you can go to inspirationgreen.com. That's inspirationgreen.com, and you can look for yourself. It even has pictures of the brands and so forth. Okay. So, I mean, we can't really get mad about the 1% of America's wealthiest that owns a majority of the wealth. Can you really get mad at that? The
Well-
system was designed in a way, so
Yeah.
either we can learn the system,
Mm-hmm.
find different ways, just like Dr. Claude Anderson says,
Mm-hmm.
you know, collaborating so we can get past the barriers that we have, because we're going to have barriers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is.
So,
We should
two
listen-
things.
we should
I
listen to
do
Dr.
want
Claude
to...
Anderson.
Yes, we should. I do want to get to Fresno Unified before we close, but
And I want to get to the voting rights. Act
okay.
before
But
we vote.
it does make you think, if you had Coke money, if you even had, you know, if I had Obama money, should they not have a right to form political PACs and try to influence politics? I know if I had Oprah money, I would be trying to influence, I would have a PAC, and I would be trying to, so.
There should be a limit.
But there should be a limit, yeah.
Of what
Yeah,
you can do. That's what I think, but I think if I have money and I want to spend my hard-earned money, on endorsing.
But see, that's the problem though. I agree, there should be a limit, but there's so many, no matter what you come up with, a clever, they got all kinds of lawyers and legislators to figure out a way around. So if you say you can only give, you cannot contribute more than $2,500 to any campaign in any election year. Okay, if you say that, then I just say, oh, okay, well, fine. And then I just call you up at your house and say, I'd like to fly you to Ireland. Me and my family are, you're the candidate.
Right.
And we're taking a vacation there. I'm not giving any money to my PAC or to you directly. I'm just going to fly you to Ireland for a week to stay with me and listen to what I think the world ought to, how the world ought to be run.
As far as what?
It's not supposed to be legal, but they figure out ways around it. So it's like,
how people get in trouble for that. I can't think of it.
It is a contribution. It's just not the kind that it's on the books for them. So they get caught with receiving favors.
but but I'm not saying I'm gonna, it's just you and your family, right? My family is going too. That's just inviting a friend on a trip.
Oh, really?
If you can go to the prayer breakfast in Washington, which they all go to and dare not miss.
Seems a little dirty.
Oh, it seems filthy, but I'm just saying, how can you regulate it? Because
you can't find right now. You won't find that happening. Remember, he's a senator, Hernandez. It's a Hispanic name, but Mendez. Yes, yeah, a doctor, someplace in Florida or Cuba where he
he's a private jet. And
you can't.
Right, but see that kind of stuff, right? Like what's his name, Larry, the Alaska guy, who they had politicos had given him money to build his house and.
Oh yeah, the senator, the guy that died,
who actually did go to prison. He did go to jail. I don't remember.
He was an older guy.
He was an older guy, and his name was
senator from Alaska.
Right, Larry. I think his name was Larry something.
The folks built this place or whatever. And
right.
He resigned, but I don't think he went to prison. He resigned.
Oh no, I think he went.
No,
to
he
prison.
wasn't. He didn't resign. He was not reelected, and then shortly after he died.
I think he went to prison.
I
won't argue with you because but but I'm just okay. See, but that's an obvious thing, We're gonna I'm whoever, Coke or somebody else, and I own a wood factory, and I'm gonna give you all the wood to build your house free. Okay, but but how are you gonna get around things like I'm throwing a birthday party for my wife in Cancun, and I would like you to come. You're my friend.
Fine, okay. Who's gonna pay for it? The trip there.
I'm paying for everybody to come.
Not as a politician. That's a no-no. They won't allow that. That's something
I'd say they figure out a way around it.
You would get indicted for that if you do.
If they find out.
They're going to find out.
And they have to go through so many layers to find out.
The guy from San Diego, was it San Diego, the young guy? They just got him. I mean, it's been lots and lots of people that get caught up in that thinking they're going to be slick with the mileage in the cars and all kinds of stuff.
Operation Rezone right here in Fresno. Several years ago.
See, I didn't know about that.
Who was Operation Rezone? Tell me again.
Robert Smith and some other Bob Long and some other folks who were on the council. Yeah, same thing.
I remember that was a big.
See, but they always catch the little people. They don't mess with no coats. And
I remember.
Once you get beyond a certain level, that Alaska guy, he was too little. That's why.
Rezone the way they had it all.
That's what happened to him.
That was good. Man.
All right. So did anyone see the headline today? I'm not sure if it was in the Bee or if it was just on the Bee online about Fresno being in national test scores. 98% of our high school students are not ready to move on to college. 98%. Of course, they were testing juniors, not seniors, but still, juniors are only a year away from beginning college.
And you're surprised?
I'm not surprised. I'm alarmed. I'm terribly alarmed.
Why? Why? Nothing's changed. I mean, that's tradition for the last 10, 12, 15 years.
See, I didn't know that, A, and B, geez, that is not good. What are they doing about it?
That's education. That's
Yeah,
not just here. That's across the nation.
Yeah.
That's not new.
98%?
And especially when you look at the demographics in terms of the communities that are failing at a greater rate.
Yeah. Well,
And they have
Still,
those numbers.
even across the nation, what is being done to fix that?
What would you
What
do?
is it going to look like tomorrow if the generation coming up, it's not the millennials, it'd be the generation behind the millennials, if they can't read and write?
They got a place for them. They have already started building them. They got one out there in
That's
Mendota that's not even open yet, waiting on.
That's Atwater, Chowchilla.
They have a place for them. We have to make the change ourselves. Our communities have to stand up and say, we're going to take it a different path. You cannot count on the people who are elected to perform the duties of oversight without vetting them properly to make sure that they're competent and qualified to serve. Because as a rule, they go in and there's one person that calls all of the shots for those elected leaders in the community. And those are superintendents all over the country. And they put their own plan in, and without having input from local neighborhoods and communities, this is what we got.
Well, I mean, now that, we've gone to Common Core, that's it, supposedly where it's going to be more on how did you get the answer right? You're going to be more reading, writing, and dissecting the problem. But I think until we decide that there's going to be more focus on early education, you know what I mean?
Like preschool.
They've done that. They got even preschool, and there's money from the state for that.
But it's not mandatory, right? It's just if
It
you
is
go
now.
and you can't afford
It
it.
is now.
No, it's not mandatory.
Yeah, I don't think it's mandatory.
It's
It's,
not
just
mandatory.
paid for if you go.
If you go, but then you still have to. Your income still has to qualify. So it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory, and it's still based on your income. If you're going to go to a free preschool,
You're right. That's right.
Oh no,
That's right.
on what?
You're absolutely right. How about that?
Say good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I just had
It's
to think about that.
It's recorded live.
Because I know that they started the preschool, and I got to look. Yeah, you're right on that. I had a little confused, but it won't be long till it will be, because there's a whole lot of money in it.
Well, yeah, and so that's why personally, as an early educator myself, I think you have to start. It's like building a house. You have to have a good foundation. If you got a foundation with mud and straw, eventually gonna.
You're starting off wrong to begin with.
It's gonna go down. You might be able to walk around the edges of it, but once you try to go across the middle, you're sinking. So we need to focus on early education. We need to spend less money in our prison systems.
This
and more money.
needs to be a whole show in itself. I can't even get.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
We need a whole full 2 hours.
You're right.
But you're going to talk about the voting. You said you were going to.
See, I should just cut that off because we all said, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
it is. It's a whole subject.
In the last 20 minutes of the program.
You're right.
You can't do this voting piece in that length of time either, because it's massive.
Well,
I was
let's bring it up so we
watching.
can talk about it.
I was watching one of the talkies this evening, and they talked about in, I believe it's Alabama, where they have closed many of the places where folks they passed an voter ID law. You have to have a photo ID, and in that state where folks could go to get their voter ID, their driver's license or some form of ID, they've closed most of them in the state.
Right. Yeah.
And they happen to be located in the communities of people of color.
Happen to be.
Yeah, just happen to be there.
Just happenstance.
And I listened to the governor give his explanation, because Senator Clinton was talking about that
This is in
today.
Alabama, correct?
Yes, she was talking about it where she spoke today, and he was defending his position and really pushing back to her, saying this was all about politics. You never miss an opportunity to politicize something so you can benefit from it. But when you look at just the simplicity of and the strategy that they use to eliminate and make sure that the voters that would possibly vote for the Democrats are now, there may be enough time that, some of this can be remedied, but the intent was to decrease the voting rolls by as much as 500,000 people.
It won't be remedied. Not in time for, they'll keep it in court, they'll tie it up, it won't be remedied.
But I think the
And then if they
solution is
do,
gonna
they'll
be-
just close down the things like they did in Ohio.
So here's what I feel that the party is gonna have to do if they wanna do that. They're gonna have to invest in making sure that those folks get to that, wherever there's 20 miles or whatever, they're gonna have to start mounting buses to get people their IDs so they can be registered to vote.
Why do you say that? Why wouldn't you say vote by mail?
Because everybody doesn't do that. That's a state's
Every state
choice.
doesn't
They
do
do
that.
they do it differently. But in this particular case, where they know this is a deliberate act, and it usually backfires on them because even when they closed Sunday voting across the country, a lot of folks thought they was going to really make it. Black folks showed up and were in lines around the buildings
And
so,
waited, and they waited.
in the rain.
Yeah.
So I think the same effect can happen too. But I think the Democratic Party, if you want their vote and support, they're going to have to step up and say, look, we're going to invest in making sure that anybody who wants to get an ID, we're going to make it possible for them to get it, even if we have to move buses in every day to just make that trip to wherever that major city is to make it happen for them. Because, you cannot allow for, to go backwards, for racism to excel. And this is clearly about race. This is, yet it's within the state's purview to make those decisions. But I wonder, there's some conversation about in a national race, the government has the authority and the right to set their own rules. Where in state races, the state makes their rules, and it flows over to the national. But it could be done the other way around. Let's say if it's a presidential race coming up, that they can set the rules for eligibility to participate in every state. And that's something that's being explored right now and talked about. And I think that's a very interesting way to look at it to combat what these, and it's our community's fault because they didn't think that local legislative elections were important to the degree to what was, and when governors and legislators changed to the conservative and extra conservative folks who said, we're going to take us back, as Mr. Trump was talking about, we're going to make America great again. That's the kind of stuff he's talking about. That's, they think it was great when, we had the drinking fountains over there for us, drinking fountains over there, and we couldn't set the counter on. Those were their days of greatness, so they think.
Well,
So,
that's why I said, the great again. Yeah, it's those what are those
Coded words. Coded
exactly.
dog whistle words.
Yeah, that he don't think that we get, that we don't understand. We
And
can't
that's why
comprehend.
we see that professor that's coming to Fresno City College in 2
Yes.
days. So bring that up. That's a nice plug.
Yes.
You're good at that. You're good at that, Julia. Putting in plugs.
Over there, you give it back to me. He'll be here.
Brandon
22nd,
Risher.
From,
Yeah.
You said, I believe, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And looking at the psychological, implicit and explicit forms of racism. Is the best way to do that. You said local things you want to talk about. I don't remember if you said Fresno Unified or.
I think it was just Fresno Unified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Burning. Next.
Yeah, it's just
It's burning. The wood is burning in the fireplace.
Bernie, I thought you were talking about Bernie Sanders.
No, burning.
Oh, I misunderstood you. I'm thinking Bernie Sanders, the next president of the United States of America.
You in America.
And he got 4 pair under.
They're doing a new Roots, right? They are?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah, they're doing a new Roots.
TV1.
It's gonna
HT.
be on
It's already started.
Wait a
I think.
minute.
Oh, I missed it.
When
It's
you
already
say
started?
so it's gonna.
It's the old one, but they did it in HD, I think. What they did is
No,
up
they're
there.
talking about having different, maybe we'll talk about that after the break. But yeah, a new Roots, I don't know how you guys.
And I
feel
didn't
about
know that.
No, I didn't hear that. I thought it was in HD. Just the old.
No, like new actors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gonna just be an HD. That's not a new Roots thing.
That's the
It is for folks that been at black and white TV back in the day.
Oh my God.
That's the new.
Black and white TV. Roots was Roots was in color. Yeah.
I watched in color. I was a little girl.
Yeah.
I remember watching with my mom. Curled up on the couch.
How many was 7 days or how long was it?
It was like a week, I think. It was. It was. Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's-
who was
Alex
at
Haley.
first-
Because we've got the Roots.
Was it? It seemed like it was.
It was like it was 2 weeks.
Was
Yeah.
it that long?
It was long. It was about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
It was a week. It was long.
And then anybody that was somebody
was in it.
Was in
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah,
You
I
see
think
Chuck
Roots was
Connors,
good.
he was in there.
Yes.
It's time out
Lloyd
for
Bridges.
Roots.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
with the
Lou Gossett.
boys. Yeah, Lou
Yeah.
Gossett Jr. was in there.
Leslie
The Reading
Uggams,
Rainbow
everybody
General,
was in
wasn't
it.
he?
LeVar Burton, yeah.
Yes, he was the
Yeah.
Kunte Kinte character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people make jokes about him.
About what?
Well, the African names, they can't, and
So
what's her name?
comedians
Poor
make
Raven
jokes about
Simone.
that afterwards.
Yeah, she's having problems with him. Identification problem.
Wait,
Well, I'm not sure
Raven
what it's
Simone?
coming out
What
of,
do you
yeah.
mean? It wasn't too rude.
But she made some remark about black names, and she's glad she didn't have a black sounding name because it would have held her back. Or
They call our Ravens.
but she didn't have a black sounding name. But actually, I should slow down because I know it's been on the web and I've been seeing the headlines, and even her father was apologizing for her. But I don't know what exactly she said, and let's face it, it is true. We all know they've done those experiments over and over where you take two applications that are exactly the same, two resumes there, and one is named Jenny Smith and one is named Shaniqua, and Shaniqua might even have more qualifications, but she won't get the job because of her name. So, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what Raven said, but, you know, there could be some, it may not be as bad as.
You think she had a real long conversation with, well, no, she was too young.
Bill Cosby? Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, I did read an article today when I was looking about Lisa Bonet
Pick up on that so
not
quick.
saying anything at all, which I think is probably
Good.
You know,
good.
I
Just refusing to speak about it at all.
Yeah, I mean, but you know.
Yeah, what do you think?
Wait,
This
the new Roots?
conservative.
What's your face? I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Oh yeah, wait,
Oh, we
I
gonna
have
bring
to say
that up?
something about
Maybe
Roots.
we won't go to break then if we're gonna bring
I mean,
that
I
up.
just don't understand. You know, it's just, you know.
You don't even know what to think.
I don't. I mean, I don't think he had to put stuff in women's drink to have intercourse with them. I think they would have just been willing and want to do that. He was Bill Cosby, and I think that he, even though he was Bill Cosby, he lacked confidence. I guess he lacked game, and he didn't feel as if though he was able to do that.
If that happened.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry.
But you know that's not what it's
Really,
about,
that's
though.
The remake is happening. I'm so sorry.
believe-
I think this is more important information.
Okay,
Roots
you're
TV
right.
movie. They added Forrest Whitaker. What's her name? Anna Paquin. Is that how you say her name?
Oh, I like her.
Yeah. So it's gonna begin in New Orleans, y'all.
But it's starting from, you know, the next generation. Is it picking up from that or another?
ONME Network has announced additional casting for Roots. Its epic miniseries based on Alice Haley's 1976 novel.
So they're
As
just
well as
redoing
other,
it.
yeah, they're redoing it.
Oh, so
It's
they're
not a sequel or anything
Yeah,
like that. It's just.
redoing it. Okay.
I think it's time out for Roots. I loved Roots. I mean, I didn't love it. It was difficult to watch. But I mean, historically, I thought it was. But you know what? I'm really leaning more toward the Django model now. Roots is kind of, it was very good, but it was kind of antiseptic.
Pacified.
It was exactly,
Pacified
exactly. I think put Django on TV. Make a mini series out of that. Okay, or 12 Years a Slave. Make a mini series out of that, so we can be truthful
For Nat
about.
Turner. So is Spike Lee still do the movie on Nat Turner?
I didn't know he would. You guys know I don't have cable. I'm out of the loop.
I don't have cable either. This is clueless.
Well, I have cable. I didn't know it.
And I'm online. I haven't seen any of this. It's not. I was surfing the roof. I haven't seen any of it.
12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, you say you would rather see.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's or oh, what came out when we were kids and my parent. Oh, I probably shouldn't tell that story. You know when they used to have the drive-ins, right? That would, I mean, you could see a drive-in for blocks away, and I remember we went to see Mandingo. Now they weren't taking us to see it; they just didn't have anyone to leave us with. But yeah, put Mandingo on. Show them boiling someone at the end of the show. Let's be realistic about what slavery was.
They're not. All they're doing is the same roots. They're just remaking it, like a remake.
Roots will air in 2016 and be simulcast on A&E, Lifetime, and the History Channel.
So again, unless I have cable, I will not be seeing
Well, no,
it.
So what do you think? It was a sequel?
Well, yeah, I thought they were going to spawn off another family. That's what I thought it was. So, but they're just remaking the original roots.
Nope, it says, Okay, like LeVar Burton, who played Kunta Kinte in 1977 TV movie, and Courtney Huggins are co-executive producers. Connor Rosenthal, Allison McDonald, and Charles Murray are writing. Dirk Hoekstra, Arturo Interian, and Michael Stiller serve executives in charge of production for History. Roots.
Well, if they do it, I hope they make it a little more raw and realistic and
How
accurate.
do you do this? Alex Haley's book that already existed from 1976.
Well, I mean,
What
but
could
there
you
are
possibly do
scenes
differently?
where like when they cut off a foot or something, I hope they really show it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
let me ask you
really-
this. Why is this more important than Bill Cosby and what was happening to him? Because we already done seen Roots.
It's
We
all
already know
played
what the
out.
root is.
It's played out.
What,
Bill
Cosby?
Yeah.
Well, what you
Yeah.
don't think Bill Cosby did that?
I don't know, but I know that you made some interesting points about him being financially able to do whatever he needed to do without having to drug somebody. And I
But,
thought that was interesting.
but when you lack the confidence, regardless of how much money you got, he didn't think that would even.
How you know? Bill Cosby? Have you listened to his stand up over the years?
But now I'm telling you, something was going wrong with these women and Bill Cosby. He was doing this.
You get paid. Look, I'm not so sure that a lot of this comes from the fact that he's popular and he's rich. There is no criminal implications to this. So the only possible implication at this point would be write a book or sue him. Now, which one you think you'll get the most money for?
Wait.
Wait.
Well, I'll tell you information about Nat Turner as we close out.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jules,
I'm
get him,
just.
hit him with the
I don't want to get too, but
tired,
if this were your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
would you? I mean, I think there's a catharsis, there's a therapy just in showing that somebody that is revered and honored and thought so highly of is really sick.
That was Spike Lee's. Nate Parker that sued Nat Turner project. So they're going to be starting shooting in May. They're scheduled to shoot in May. So that's interesting.
So he's doing the story of Nat Turner.
Nat Turner, the slave rebellion. People are familiar with that. And so they are going to be starting shooting that film. That's interesting.
Well, I hope it's on the avenues of the way Django was. I thought that
Yeah.
was really, really.
Well, if you're familiar with the story of Nat Turner,
Yeah.
it won't be any different than Django, except for the ending, of course.
Well, they might sanitize it. And who is this Parker dude? We have to check him out. If you don't do it right, Parker.
Unless Spike Lee took over. See, Parker's also producing via his Braun Entertainment shingle, along with Aaron L. Gibbert, Kevin Turin, Jason Michael Berman, and Preston Holmes. None of these names sound familiar to me.
Yeah.
So that's.
And I look at the credits. I stay till the
Yeah, I
end
do
of
too.
everything
But apparently.
to look at the credits.
through
Yeah.
a fellowship with the Sundance Institute
Oh.
Film Program.
Well, that's
I wonder why Tyler
That's
Perry
a
doesn't
good
get
one.
involved in anything like that.
Because Tyler Perry wants to make money.
yeah.
It's
More.
Straight out of it.
He's
no,
got-
he's not going to make money doing a Nat Turner film.
That's what I'm saying. He wants to make more. He's got tons,
His
but
image
he
is
wants to.
already coined
Yeah.
as in the buffoonery way of making films.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that. But his buffoonery style of doing the films works, and it's made
Yeah.
him a lot of money.
And I watched some of his film, but those
Evil. Like Medea too. I don't like the Wayans at all. I like Living
I
Color,
like the
but
Medea films.
I don't care particularly for the. Only thing I like about it, it gives an opportunity for African Americans to perform and have another platform to earn some money. That's my only.
they're acting crazy when he
I
or
don't care
she
what you're
going
doing,
around
you getting
shooting at
paid.
people and
You getting paid. You don't have a whole lot of
Yeah, but
options.
we can't keep going down that.
just
Well,
getting paid.
Style. When I look
Yeah.
at myself, background filmmaking, I get. heat.
That's what they said about Amos and Andy. Same thing.
But
I got all they tapes, and I love them.
Tyler Perry has his own production company. He doesn't have to do the. And then in his defense, he's actually come out with some good movies. Like
Yes.
the
Yes.
How Do You Get
yeah,
Married series,
but
those are good.
see, I don't like to put
Mr.
those
D.
constraints on. So white folks can act a fool all they want and be funny, and black folks can't do it because everything we do has to be imbued with meaning. I mean, I also. I don't like I strongly dislike the Browns. I think that's a negative
Yeah, I agree with
stereotype.
that.
But to me, Medea's just funny. She does, and he does it so well. She's not buffoonery. To me, the Browns are buffoonery.
No, the Browns
But
are
you know, Medea is just like, now Martin Lawrence at Big Mama's house, that's buffoonery. But Medea, she's real close. She's real close.
Well, I mean, I guess we could go a whole list of. We could talk about Norbit, Eddie Murphy. We can go through a whole list.
Oh,
yeah,
black men dressed as women to get buffoonery. Yeah, we sure could talk about that. Because that in itself is a whole other topic.
Yeah.
It is, but see, I love Benny Hill, and we don't say, you know, Benny Hill, terrible Benny Hill. He dressed like a woman.
Black men are forced to dress like that.
But that's a whole nother. You're going deep now, Jay.
You know.
Yeah, you're going deep now.
Rich, you know,
yeah. We don't want to tell. We don't want Professor Griffin to come in here.
Well, I just get tired of it.
Yeah. No, and I understand that.
But I do feel like what you said is correct. A person should be able to make it. You know, I guess that's humor.
Just like Spike Lee, he doesn't just do all black films.
Oh no, some of his best stuff has been other stuff. 25th Hour, that's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, that is.
No, the best one I think he ever made was Mo Better Blues.
Mo Better was really good.
An okay movie. It was great.
It was good.
That's my favorite. And that Malcolm X was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Malcolm X is.
Malcolm X. Oh my God. The whole time period and everything, he just.
Oh, then you got to
really captured that.
He really captured it, yeah. And isn't it amazing how someone? I mean, just goes to show you. If you've ever had a dream where you were looking or talking to someone who you knew was someone else, but they didn't look that way at all. Like I knew it was my friend Bob, but he didn't look like Bob at all. But I knew it was. Denzel totally inhabited. Now, if you put him next to a picture of Malcolm X, you know, they had the same glasses and this, but he doesn't look like Malcolm X. But he's so exactly. He's so
his personality
took him on that.
You know,
yeah.
So that was a good movie.
That was a
that
good
was one of my
movie.
favorites. I can sometimes catch it on Spike TV.
No pun intended.
It comes on, so it's good. But
so what did you guys think of She's Gotta Have It? Because that was way early. I never did quite get it, and I never.
What did you not get?
Well, I mean,
She's Gotta Have It. What did you not get?
No, I got that part, but it just sort of seemed to ramble on.
It's one of his first earlier movies, though.
Yeah, and it was like I love that thing around her bed that had all the candles in it. But I don't know. It just.
What did you?
It was kind of I guess what it was. I was waiting for it to make some point, and it wasn't a point movie. It was a slice of life movie. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it separated a more serious side.
Yeah, and see, I think that's what threw me. Because it was more serious. I kept waiting for. And I've seen it more than once. Yeah.
How about the one Mississippi Messiah or Messiah?
Oh, I like that.
I didn't like that one.
Oh, I like that. That was good. Because I love that actress.
Yeah, I'm a Spike Lee fan, but the best one was Mo Better Blues and Crooklyn.
I haven't seen Crooklyn. I've never seen Crooklyn.
It just came out. One that depicts the black preachers in the church. I don't know. So, some people might think that's.
It's new.
It's newer. It's one of his newer films. I'd say in the last 3 years.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, and it's sad, but there's some truth in it. It's just the way it is. You know, and
it's a movie, not a documentary.
It's a movie. No,
okay.
This is a movie.
Oh, and the flood one. Not flood. I'm sorry, the Katrina one that was on HBO.
Right.
I want to see that. Yeah, I need to catch up on my Spike Lee because a lot of his newer stuff I haven't seen.
And so a lot of his newer stuff doesn't get a lot of play, and I know that one was very controversial, but it was so well put together. You know, you could see the transition and where he's really flowered his skills when you look at the cinema from his early beginnings, humble beginnings, I would say, to now Spike Lee.
Which one did he partner with Oprah on in terms of finances?
Malcolm X. He had a whole lot of people who kicked in on that one.
A lot of people, even Jordan kicked in that, right? Michael Jordan kicked in that, and Magic.
And Janet Jackson.
About that at Fresno State.
Oh,
when you came to Fresno State, you talked about that.
I wasn't here yet.
Yeah, well, that was interesting. He got a lot of slack for that movie, but he got a lot of help. Yeah, She's Gotta Have It. I want to tell you the name of that movie. It's very controversial. I forgot he did The School Days.
Oh yeah.
School Days is good. That has.
Bamboozled. Did you guys watch
Oh
that
yeah,
one?
Bam. I love that guy, Michael. What's his name? The actor.
You did all those, Julie?
Clockers, yes.
What do you do,
Summer
Wesley?
of Sam.
Wesley Snipes
Oh, Summer
movie.
of
What
Sam
was that?
was good.
White Man Can't Jump.
Vitamin K.
No, Wesley Snipes, the one with
Crooklyn.
the
Oh,
one-
where he had the Chinese wife.
No, she was an Italian girlfriend. And
Red Hook Summer. That's the one with the preacher. Red Hook Summer. I knew it was Summer.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that one.
Red Hook Summer. That's it's very gripping. I won't tell you the ending.
Red Hook Summer. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and
Okay. When the Leaves
see if it's
Broke.
on
I've
Netflix.
never heard of this one. When the Leaves Broke. That's another good one.
Oh no, Levy. That's the one that was on.
Oh, the Levees Broke.
Right, that's the one that was on HBO.
It's on my age.
Mhm.
Sorry. Okay.
Did she say when the leaves broke?
Yeah. Look for how small the writing is from here.
I wouldn't have been able to read it. Period.
Yeah, it's so small. Okay. She Hate Me. I don't remember that one. Get on the Bus. Remember that? Million Man March.
Get on the Bus was good. I forgot he's made so many movies.
Joe's Bed-Stuy Barbershop. I remember that one.
He did
Girl 6.
Barbershop?
He's the first
I
one.
don't know
in
Girl 6.
1982. Joe's Bed-Stuy Barbershop. It's one of the very first movies he did. Okay, the original Kings of Comedy.
And of course, Do the Right Thing. You haven't come across Do the Right Thing yet.
A lot of stuff, you guys.
Yeah, I forgot. He's got a huge.
That was so funny. Okay,
canon or whatever you call it.
Remember, and don't forget Do the Right Thing. So Spike's got a.
I love that. I think that is just so. That last scene where everything is torn up and the radio guy is dead and
catch up.
they're just sitting on the street and he still wants his money.
That
scene.
That was interesting. I don't know what is Old Boy, and then the Sweet Blood of Jesus was different.
I've never even heard
Oh,
of that.
Yeah, he did do Inside Man. That was good. That was good.
Oh, and that was one with Denzel where the bank robbery and the guy was
Clyde
actually
Owens,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was good.
But I can't remember what Old Boy is, and I
Me
do remember
either.
seeing the Sweet Blood of Jesus. That one's very, very eccentric.
I've never even heard of that.
But I like that. He borderlines on eccentricity and also
you
historical.
Jungle Fever.
Yeah.
yes, that's what. I
Oh
was
yeah.
trying to think
Oh,
of.
got it. Okay.
So that's interesting.
Here's mine right here. Mo Better Blues.
Yeah, there's that movie. It's all right.
I like it.
And Clockers.
Jeez, we need to have a Spike Lee Film Festival. I
Oh,
forgot he had so many
That
films.
might be a great fundraiser for Valley Black Talk Radio.
I'll say.
Perhaps you'd be interested, and I think we can get started on
I
that.
think that would be good.
We can do the big screen right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mel, get on that. We'll do a Spike Lee Nerd Festival. And so each week, no, I'm serious. Each week we'll
Yeah, no, I'm just laughing.
Well, I'm not because she said Mel get on because it's not going to take care. Yeah, it won't happen. But I think that would be a great.
Okay. We go back to our movie nights anyway now that it's cooler. Here in the cafe, we go back to the movie night. So we can go back to our Spike Lee Fest.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a great way to close.
Yeah. Perfect closing, right? Mel, is anything else you want to say?
No, I don't want to say too much anything.
You didn't say much anyway. You've been.
Yeah, rather demure. Yeah.
And we weren't even talking about the Nation of Islam tonight. You were really quiet.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much.
Was it the Twin Towers we talked about?
Well, what turned you off?
No, it's a very interesting conversation. I enjoyed being a listening sponge this evening and just hearing what you folks had to say.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more about Hanford and getting him involved and perhaps being a commentator on the show. And finally, we had people to call in. By the next show, let's make sure we have someone calling in. Which means, just remind me that iPad has to be right here so we can take the call.
Okay.
Yes.
And you'll put the thing across the
Yeah.
the ribbon so we don't have to
remind me.
remember.
Here's the problem. You guys remind me in the middle of bickering about, who got here on time, who didn't. That's what happened. So I'm going to focus on that. The lights work. I'm going to focus on the lights and the sound by the time I've forgotten about the number. So that's what I'm saying. But at any rate, folks, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Valley Black Talk Radio on the ONME Network. And you can continue to watch reruns on this channel, onmetv.com, or go to myonme.com to find out more information. And I've been one of your hosts this evening, Julie Dudley Najib, Kimberly Jackson, Mel Sanders, and Jewel Riversmith. So have a great evening.